Dimman ligger tät bland bergen. Då dansar grus.
Can never find anything in this room.
Osynlig för blotta ögat, men med påtaglig närvaro.
There it is. Yep, that's me.
När natthimlen glittrar och de djupa skogarna tystnat, då dansar gruvor. Påtaglig och vacker, iklädd ljus och slöja, dansar gruvfrun.
Oh, baby. Yep, these are fresh. Nothing better than a new shoe smell. Maybe a new car, but new shoes a close second. So I'm supposed to be running in my first ever half marathon in less than a month. And everything's been great up in the planning process and in the training process. But this week I realized that the marathon is on a Saturday and the bib pickup is on Friday, and I have lab that Friday. So now I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to run in the marathon. I will, of course, figure that out, but it was a good excuse to buy some sweet running shoes. So, carbon plates, hopefully they get put to work. So how about some life advice on a Tuesday? What do you say? This is slightly different than the typical content that I make here on my channel, but as I go through life and my life experiences continue to inform the way I think and perceive the world, I hope to share these thoughts and these new ideas with all of you on my channel. And I've made reference to this idea in the past, but one of the most prevalent things that I'm experiencing as I age is that the older I get, the quicker time seems to be flying by. And at the ripe age of almost 25 years old, I imagine that I'm only just experiencing the beginning of this, and once again, the older I get, the more and more I will see this as my reality. But one little thing that I've learned in my process of going from where I was to where I am today is that the little things in life really make all the difference. And this seems a little bit cliche, right? Like this is one of those sayings that you might read in an inspirational book or see on like an Instagram post somewhere. But honestly, in reality, I've found it to be very, very true. So each of you who is watching this video, you're on your own journey. It doesn't really matter where exactly you are in the process. Maybe you're in high school, in college, you're in dental school like me, or medical school, or you're further along, but all of us are on our own unique journeys. And one thing that I think we should all be focusing on is appreciating the little things that we encounter in this journey. So I'm using these running shoes as my salient example of this. First off, just in case you're wondering, these are Gen 1 Saucony Endorphin Pros, and they're about a $200 pair of running shoes with carbon plates in them. Really, really great shoe, especially for racing. But to me, this isn't just a pair of $200 running shoes. I mean, it is that. When I look at it, its physical properties tell me that. My receipt from Running Warehouse tells me that. I actually got a little bit of a discount, so it wasn't quite $200. But these shoes mean more to me than the price tag or the colors or the actual physical object. What these shoes represent to me is over a year of dedication to a thing that I once hated doing and really looked at as a burden. For the last year and a half, I've really been dedicated to running, and I've been doing it almost every single day. Days when I wanted to, days when I didn't want to. One thing that I've been able to do is stay consistent with it to the point now where I was willing to pay $150 to go out and run 13.1 miles. Even just saying that out loud, it's like, why would you pay to go run? That makes no sense, and most people would think you're crazy, but that's the point I've reached with my relationship with running. And these shoes to me are a little thing that symbolizes something that's so much bigger. Just opening this pair of shoes and looking at them for the first time, it kind of hit me how far I've come in my journey with running. And that was sort of an allegory for a much larger realization about my life, that things are just rapidly progressing. And if I don't stop to appreciate the little things, I think I'll get way too far ahead of myself and I'll miss out on a lot of little moments that are special. So what are the little things? Well, they're not all physical objects. In fact, often they're going to not be physical objects. They're not going to be things that we can touch, see, smell, all the other senses. They're going to be moments. They're going to be experiences with or without other people. These are the things that make this journey so important and so special. You get one life to live, and while the journey that you're on may seem at times like a burden or at times like something that you constantly have to struggle through, you only get to do it once. And I think what happens when we look back on a long journey that we've taken is that we tend to only remember the positives and the things that got us to that point, and not necessarily the long nights or the negative things that happened along the way. Another example of a little thing in my life that I recently appreciated was last week in my dental school lab. I learned for the first time how to place a direct composite veneer. And you probably know that veneers are a pretty common, I would say, aesthetic procedure in dentistry. And this was the first time that I had ever experienced learning it. And in the moment, I'm working on doing this thing. I'm a little frustrated with trying to work in the composite and then trying to form it with different burrs and make it look right. But after leaving the lab, stepping away and reflecting a little bit on what I had just experienced, I realized that this was yet another thing that I was doing. And it was something that for many, many years I had dreamed about doing. Being in this position to learn how to do dentistry, learn how to do what I was actually gonna do with my life for the rest of my life. And so just like that, a little trivial moment that you might really skip over and not think about became a memory to me that I think I'll always hold. And now I have it in video form, which is, sidebar, a really cool thing about this YouTube channel for me. But it was a little thing that I cherished and will appreciate forever. And I think what a lot of my viewers are experiencing right now is that they see my content and they see someone who they would like to be like, or at least someone whose position they would like to occupy in the near future. And while that's totally okay, I hope that my viewers never take this to a point where they don't appreciate their own lives and their own journeys. In my life, I've been just where you are right now. I was once in high school with not really a clue how my life would play out and not really even entirely sure if dentistry was for me. And then I was also in college at one point, struggling through these really difficult science courses. I was watching people that were around me in these classes drop out right and left because they decided that medicine and dentistry weren't for them, and I questioned if it was for me once again. I've been through all of those little moments that you're going through right now, and there are plenty of little moments that I haven't experienced yet in my own life and in my own journey that I look forward to experiencing. I hope this doesn't feel preachy to you, but what I wanted to do with this video was just to try in some way to convey to you to take advantage of the little moments, the little opportunities, the little things that we experience in life that we can enjoy, or even the ones that we don't enjoy, but that we can solidify into a memory that will take us into our own futures. Something that's been widely expressed and published by many is that time is our most valuable resource, and this is in fact true. We don't get to mess around with time. It's this thing that we can't wrap our minds around. It's there and then it's gone. You never get to go back to 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago or even 2 seconds ago. All you get to do is go forward. But in the same sense, we have all these memories and all these moments that we've experienced in our past that remain with us in our memories and inform the way that we look at the world into our futures. And because a video like this has to have a great quote from an author or somebody of the like, I decided to include one that I think somewhat applies to this topic. And it is by the author of Atomic Habits, James Clear, when he says, "Most days we'd rather be wrong with the crowd than be right by ourselves." Society is going to tell you to constantly look for the next thing, constantly try to buy the new car or the new house or the new phone, the new computer, whatever it is. Try to get the most likes on Instagram or to do these things that are quote cool to society. What society won't tell you to do is to appreciate the little things, the little moments that happen in your life that you can use moving forward. So in this instance, wherever you are in your journey, try to enjoy the little things and don't let them fall by the wayside as society would probably have you do. After all, at the end of the day, life is just a string of little things that we get to call memories and experiences, all put together in this beautiful narrative, sometimes great, sometimes horrible, but they make up the complexity and the beauty of life. So try to enjoy them. My friends, my name is Steven. I'm a second-year dental student, and if you're new to the channel by any chance, make sure that you subscribe, like this video, and let me know what you think in the comments. This is, once again, slightly different than my typical content. It's a little bit more Matt D'Avella-ish, and I have talked about him and made reference to him in the past. He's obviously a very influential creator, so at times I do find my inner Matt D'Avella and I decide to make a video like this. But if you enjoyed it, once again, like the video and let me know what you think. I do enjoy kind of delving into these topics that are a little bit more kind of existential or life lesson-y, because I think I am growing older and I am learning more about the world, and I hope to share these things with a pretty impressionable audience that might stand to learn a few things from it. But I appreciate interacting with each of you, and I'm so excited to be continuing to make this content and to be continuing to see this channel growing week after week. More people are joining on and joining this journey that I'm taking on YouTube, to the point where I hope in a year or two I can really look back at these early days of my channel and say, it started very humble, but I have all these really devoted people who have stuck with me through all these things, and they've grown with me as I've grown and changed in my life and in my content. But that's it for today, my friends. Make sure that you appreciate the little things about life, and thanks again for stopping by to check out the video. As I always say at the end of my videos, I will see you in the next one.